What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Woke up to a really cool surprise in the mail today, and as fate would have it, we are entering the city of Baldur's Gate. We have Baldur's Gate Descent into Avernus. This is a standalone D&D campaign that sort of acts as a prequel to the events of Baldur's Gate 3. It'll take players from level 1 to 13, and I thought it would be a really fitting way to kick off our tribute to Act 3. This is probably going to be one of my last playthroughs for a while, so I thought this was a good way to mark the occasion. We've got the emblem of the Flaming Fist and a map overview of the city. And look at this artwork. Just beautiful. Now, there are multiple instances in Baldur's Gate 3 where characters will allude to some of the events of this campaign, particularly the backstory of Karlach and the reason behind the refugee crisis that's taking place in the land. And originally, I've heard that some files were found indicating that there was originally intended to be an Avernus area in Baldur's Gate 3, but unfortunately that was cut. And certainly if you are interested in some of the backstory of Karlach or of the major bosses in the campaign, Ketheric Thorn, Orin, and Gortash, can certainly learn a lot about the city, a lot of the lore and intrigue of Baldur's Gate, and just some epic artwork. This would be a really fun campaign to run with a group of friends. Going through the pages pretty quickly, I don't want to give any story spoilers, but just trying to appreciate some of this artwork. What a barren wasteland. Yikes, look at that artwork. Got a madcap, interesting. Okay, this is pretty epic. I've heard it said this is like D&D mixed with Mad Max. Yeah, no, this would be a pretty cool campaign. Epic battles to be had, I'm sure. I'm guessing these are some of the bosses in this area. Certainly look epic. Okay, very cool. Yeah, these would be some tough enemies for sure. Gruesome. One thing about Wizards of the Coast, they do not skimp on their art budgets. Okay, maybe some origin of Zariel. And if you're familiar with Karlach, this plays heavily into her backstory. Okay. Looking like a scene out of Doom. And this was one of my major motivations for picking this up, the Baldur's Gate Gazetteer. It gives you everything you would need to run a campaign in this setting. Lots of lore and backstory on the city, a lot of its socio-political events, cultural sites, fortifications, and underworld elements. A lot of the guilds and clans and patrons in the city. Oh, here we've got a great map. If you've been following along the stream, we've just left Rivington. We are now in Worms Crossing. We are underneath the prison, and we will continue on into the city in our upcoming streams. Very excited to get there. Hopefully explore some of these places. There's just so much to do in Act 3. We're gonna try to keep it focused, but it's hard not to get swept up in the wonder of the city. Okay, here's Worms Crossing. We've got a lot of exploration to do there once we finally get out of the prison. Lots of options for backstory and encounters. And we've got an appendix on different aspects of the quest. Really interested in how to operate these infernal machines. That's going to be a really cool mechanic, I think. I think if you go into this with the understanding or with an interest in Baldur's Gate 3, oh, we've got a soul coin. We are going to hopefully find out what those do pretty quickly. We've been saving up a bunch for Karlach, so excited for that. We got some epic beasts. Yikes. Okay, we've seen some of these Marigons in the Sharon trial area. We fought some red caps in Act 1 and Zariel. Okay, we've got some concept art. Very, very cool. Yeah, these books are almost worth buying just for the artwork. Even if you don't run the campaigns, they're great collector's items. We've got some full-size maps. Pretty cool. Alright, I am going to link our Baldur's Gate 3 full playthrough. Hope to see you there.
It's wizard time, mother... Fire!
Until next time.